Say hello to our furriest book club member. This is Luther. He likes to go with us any and every time he can, so he has been known to make special appearances at book club. All right, go on down now. Go on. Go on. He's going to try to be in this the whole time now. Okay, so hopefully at this point you are moving right along and you're getting pretty comfortable running your book club, or at least you're in the process of making some calls and sending out some flyers to see who you can get involved. If you're following along in this series and you're looking at the outline, we are now on week 5. Last week we talked about the conflict. The week before we were talking about the protagonist and the antagonist. So now if you've identified the problem in the story, you know who your main character, your protagonist is, you know who's pushing back against them, trying to stop them, even if it's themselves. They themselves are their own antagonist. Once they are heading towards fixing that problem, then that means they are heading towards the climax of the story. So if you remember from several weeks ago, we had the roller coaster. And once you reach the top of that peak, that is the climax of the roller coaster before the big drop. That is the climax of the story, right as they have solved the problem. So an example of the climax of the story is when we read Treasure Island. There was a moment where Jim has been captured by the pirate, and they finally have dug up the burial ground. And when they look inside, dun dun dun, like I'm not going to tell you because I'm not going to spoil it, but there is this moment. It's the build up. This is, you can tell something big is happening. Jim has been captured by the pirates, and they have tried to dig up the treasure. And here they are at this moment. You can just feel the tension in the air. That is the climax of your story. From there, as in a roller coaster, you're coasting on back down again. And the author is kind of buttoning up the story. So this week during book club, week 5, we typically start asking, have we reached the climax of the story? If so, I have them just talk about it and what they thought about it. If not, then we just keep on waiting and saying, well, maybe this is going to happen and maybe that's going to happen. But by now you're pretty far into the book. So, there's a very good chance you've reached the climax of the story. So once again, try at every meeting to have everybody go around, say something that stood out to them that week that they really, really enjoyed. And then go ahead and talk about the climax, have a snack, do an activity if you want to do an activity. And then that's pretty much everything there is to week 5. Now, as I've been saying all along, I've got a lot of tools and resources that I'm creating to help make this as easy as possible for you. So I'm going to go over some of the different things throughout all the different weeks that I've linked into the show notes. And of course, if you just click the links, it'll take you to my Teachers Pay Teachers page. And as of right now, all of this stuff is free. So the very first thing we had on there is the story roller coaster. This is going to walk you through the setting, the rising action, the climax, the descending action, the conclusion. This is going to be a great visual to help you if you want to draw it out on the board. You could hand this out to each family to help give them a visual of what's going on in the storyline. If you're not sure what I'm talking about with the story roller coaster, go back to those videos and I'll tell you all about it. The other resource that I have available is just a visual of the protagonist and the antagonist, and just helping you to be able to explain and talk the kids through figuring out who that is in the story. We've got, from the last video, we talked about literary devices. So we've got several pages worth of literary devices, what they mean, and examples of them. So you can print these out and have them ready to go if you want to have a discussion about different literary devices that you might be seeing in your chapters. And then what I haven't shown this before, so this is a new product. This is a a weekly outline. So everything that I'm going through in this series, I'm walking you through step by step what to do each week if you break your book into 6 weeks. So week 1, we had the author study. Week 2, we have the chapter discussions, and we started on the roller coaster outline. Week 3, we start talking about the protagonist and the antagonist. So what I have on this resource is telling you exactly the week, what the theme of discussion is for that week, and just a step-by-step of everything to do with that. So then we go through week 4, we start talking about the conflict and add in a literary device that we see in that book. Week 5, this week, we talk about the climax and how we reach the climax of the story. We also start talking about how next week is the final week, and that's the week of our book party. So you can start kind of giving the kids an idea if they want to dress up, which most of ours do like to, and maybe not once they get to the high school range. They're iffy on that one. Depends on the character. But they can come dressed up, and that they love to do that. So definitely start giving them, a heads up on that. And I have always said, do a costume that is easy so that it is not another thing for your parents to have to put together for you. It's just, face makeup or a lot of things you can do with little ears, clothes, and just anything they can come up with. It's fun. And then we've got week 6, which is the book party. So on the next video, I'm going to go over exactly how to plan out your book party. Party makes it sound big. It is super simple. We make it fun, but something that is easily done every 6 weeks. If it was too intense, we would do it once and we would be done. But this printable that goes along with this, it actually walks you through everything to do for that also. And then the final piece to this resource is just a grid that takes everything that is on these other pages with all the details, and it just breaks it down into a week by week. So it's the week at a glance. So you can see exactly everything that happens on that day for that. For example, week number 2, we do the welcome. We ask the kids what stood out to them. We start in on the roller coaster diagram. They make, for their activity that week, they make a bookmark, and then they have a snack. So I just have it bullet pointed, boom, 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 boom. That's what we do. Now, you could take this resource, and you could follow exactly what we have. Try it out for yourself, see how it works. And if there's something that doesn't work for your group, take a little white out. Take that piece out and change it to whatever it is that works for you. So I hope that all of these are going to be excellent tools. Just go down to the show notes. It's super easy. Click on the link and it'll just zip you right over there. It'll be a PDF file. You can just hit download. Like I said, right now it's for free. And then you can print it right out. You can put it in a notebook and you'll be ready to go. So I hope this all has been helpful, and I will see you in the next video when we talk about final week of book club for that book, The Party. Bye.